Imagine you are dozens of miles away from home on the second floor of a building. You look out the window and you see your wife levitating mid-air outside the glass, wearing a horrifying smile and waving at you slowly. What you don't know is that this exact moment, her physical body is on the floor, on the brink of death, surrounded by clapping entities. This isn't a made-up story. This is reality. Greetings, investigators. Today we open part 2 of the Moldova file. For those who missed the first episode, our witness was invaded in her sleep by a demon back in 2006. Today we see what happens when that entity hiding deep within her astral body strikes at the most vulnerable moment of her life. The year is 2013. Our witness was pregnant with her second child. Everything collapses with a dark premonition dream where she falls onto the dirty floor of a hospital. 3 days later, she loses the long-awaited pregnancy. The grief throws her into an absolute darkness, filled with depression and massive arguments at home. That demon, which entered 7 years prior, had finally found its breach. One morning, her husband leaves for work in another city. Left alone, she makes a fatal decision. She finds a bottle of 48 pills and decides to end the suffering once and for all. But pay attention to this paranormal detail. Before swallowing the pills, she felt a heavy, unnatural silence, like a dense fog. She clearly felt that something was watching her, motionless from the shadows, just waiting. The second she swallowed the last pill, the fog cleared, and dozens of entities stepped out of it. Skinny, hairy demons that began jumping for joy all around her. They were applauding her action and cheering. This is what lower vibration spirits do, investigators. They silently push you to the edge of the cliff, and when you jump, they feed on your vital energy. They stood completely still on purpose, so they wouldn't scare her out of doing it. An hour later, physical agony hits. She no longer wanted to die. In that pure desperation, she cries out to the divine. And here we have clear proof of spiritual light. In her mind's eye, she sees her crown chakra open up, and a channel of white light rises into the sky. She receives an instantaneous response.
Your question has reached to us. Go to sleep.
She receives a deeply prophetic dream, seeing the lost child falling into an abyss, but from a bright green field. Another little girl runs towards her, the daughter she has to this day. But did you forget about her husband? She was dozens of miles away. During the exact hour his wife was in agony, hovering between life and death, he sees her at his second floor window, levitating in the air, looking at him with a horrifying smile and waving at him. He calls home in a panic, and she, waking up from her agony, lies to him and says she had just a food poisoning. What did the husband see at the window? As a hunter, I'll tell you clearly, when you are on the brink of death, the astral body can detach, a phenomenon known as a crisis apparition. But that macabre smile, that wasn't her soul. That smile belonged to the demon from 2006. The entity had come to say goodbye to the husband, believing it had won the final battle. Fortunately, divine intervention proved stronger than the applause of shadows, and she survived. Have you ever felt a silent presence, seemingly waiting for you to make a mistake? And more importantly, would you have opened the window for that spirit? Leave your theories in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like and lock your doors tonight.